Alright, so Chainsaw Man Part 2 has finally ended, and as of now, they haven't told us anything, whether there will be a Part 3 or anything like that. So for now, this is the definitive ending to the series, and what the fuck were we thinking? You know, I'm a big fan of Chainsaw Man, right? I have like 2 videos on the series, and I have one that I'm cooking up. But this was one of the most disappointing endings ever for me. The series quote unquote ended on chapter 232, and before that, you know, Pochita ate himself. Oh yeah, there's gonna be spoilers, so tread with caution. Pochita eats himself, and basically, I guess it just, you know, made in heavens the world, I guess, and you know, we go back to the beginning and we see that Denji now has no chainsaw dog named Pochita, but instead of meeting Chainsaw Man, he meets Power. And like I stated before, I love the series. This series is the first manga I ever read / collected. I have half of the volumes. I'm probably going to get the rest of them. And I think part 1 is a masterpiece. I think it's some of the best shonen we've gotten ever. And part 2 was a slow burn, but I wasn't against it because I thought it was going to build up to something, you know, really big. Turns out that didn't happen. That didn't happen at all. It was just so disappointing, especially after the climax that was Asa versus Denji. And I was so sure that, you know, we would have a proper ending, just like we did in part 1. And part 1's ending, I would say, is pretty good, you know. We get a resolution to everything, and we see the next stage of Denji's life. But in this case, we don't see that. We actually go back to the beginning, and yeah, he's with Power, but it really does leave a lot of plot holes, and it's really disappointing. We don't know what happens to Asa and Denji's relationship. We don't know why Nayuta came back. When Makima came back as Nayuta. We don't know what happened to the rest of the devils that got eaten by Pochita, but I'm assuming they're just gone forever. But it's also weird because Pochita still lives within Denji, so it's this weird thing of like, well, is he dead or is he not dead, and that becomes an unanswered question. And we also we do see Power, but we also don't really meet Power, if that makes sense, because this all feels like a dream. This all feels like a dream, and that's my main issue. My main issue is that this thing just feels like it was all just a dream, which is one of the most disappointing and lazy ways of writing a story, in my opinion. And I know the whole point of the story is, you know, keep on dreaming, keep on striving for more. But this is, in my opinion, a really bad way of ending a story. But to be fair, and cut Fujimoto some slack, you can clearly tell that the dude was burnt out of his fucking mind. This dude was burnt out with Chainsaw Man, and you could start to see that he wasn't really trying as much as he was, you know, back in part 1, which I totally get. You know, weekly or even bi-weekly manga releases are just a real pain in the ass, and I totally get why he would, you know, be burnt out. And honestly, ending it this way is rivaling Gege's ending of Jujutsu Kaisen, and it's just so disappointing. It's really disappointing. I can't believe it. But yeah, as I mentioned before, there's just a lot of plot holes and a lot of things that are unanswered. Like, we don't know where Kishibe or I forgot her name, Kobeni, we don't know where they're at, and they seem like pretty important characters. This was a really disappointing chapter. I understand that this is just what we were given, and we have to live with it. I I don't know. I, I don't know. I'm definitely very disappointed, and this definitely, if this is the ending of Chainsaw Man, but this dropped Chainsaw Man from a top 3 series for me to like a top 20. Dropping a top 20 because part 1 is still genuinely really fucking good. It's the best shonen that I've probably ever read. But yeah, overall, I'm just very disappointed in this. Hopefully there's a part 3. If there's no part 3, this just sucks. This really just does suck, and I can't really do anything about it. But yeah, working on a Nuzlocke video. Hopefully that comes out this week. I was going to work on it today, but after I read that chapter, it was so disappointing that I refused to work on anything because I was just so distraught. But yeah, anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.